African-American community joined Fresno's police chief for a moment of peace and prayer.
Amid widespread protests and rising tensions.
Hey there. Looks like we got a lot of stuff going on. They're talking about protests downtown Fresno and pastors getting together and praying. That is a very, very good decision. The old radio. Had a friend that I used to work with, and his dad did some work for Bechtel in Saudi Arabia. And the housekeeper kept the radio on all the time. And he was dumbfounded how everything that came out of that radio, she believed. And he explained to her this thing called propaganda and how propaganda is spread. And she could not believe that people would actually lie and deceive. There's a lot of that going on. And in our devotional today, it says, do not be deceived. We've got to have wisdom, and we've got to determine what is accurate and what is not. This devotional talks about Antichrist, and it talks about those that deceive. In Matthew 24:11 it says, and many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And then the other passage is in Matthew 24:24, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, that they shall deceive the very elect. It's not very often that you hear the term Antichrist on the news, unless they're just calling one another Antichrist. But here we see on Sunday that our president says that Antichrist have caused havoc in recent days. So it's not just someone calling the president an Antichrist, and that seems to always happen, but this is an individual saying there is this Antichrist out in our streets. There was a gentleman from PBS that thought that that was not right and said there was no evidence, and he was out on the street and didn't see any. Ted Cruz says, evidence, a sign which shows something exists or is true. Antichrist is defined, one who uses violent means to overthrow the established order. So it seems like maybe our president was right. So what's going on? Well, I had referenced a video that I had posted on my Facebook page, and I hope you look at it, but it talked about the spectrum of governments. And that's important to know that. We are a republic that has been deceived to think we're a democracy, which will swing us right into anarchy. Are you seeing it? Once it's swung over to anarchy, then what happens? Then the government steps in with total control. Well, that's what's happening right now. Now we got these curfews. Now we got the National Guards on the street. Now we have the president threatening that he's going to take total control. Executive order after executive order after executive order. Pay attention to these things. They have been on the rise. The last two presidents have around 270 executive orders. These are mandates that they make that don't go through the legislative branch, which, by the way, is always busy making laws. And you see that when it comes to power, that can happen. Also, too, on the economic scale, you know we're going to suffer some economic difficulties through all that we've been through. They're going to start price fixing. They're going to start talking about wage minimums, and they're going to be controlling. This is very, very important because this is what has got to set the stage for the end time. So, Sundays are coming, and our Sunday school teacher, Brother Mark's going to be bringing another great message. I want you to prepare for it. We live in a time period where this stuff is really, really coming to fruition, and you can see it. You can turn on your news. You can open your Bible. You see it. There is the meme where the gal goes outside and she looks to see Okay, what chapter of Revelation are we doing today? This is where we are. Now, how can we deal with this immediate problem? Well, this immediate problem is never going to be taken care of with politics or propaganda, but it will be taken care of with passion and love. I read on Sunday, Acts 17:26, and he hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth. Colossians 3:11, for there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, bond or free, but Christ is all and in all. So we see that in God's eyes, we're all equal, we're all loved, and we are commanded to love one another. So, what's our task? As we see things unfolding, we are to love one another, honor God, glorify Him. God bless you.